What is up, hotties? Welcome back to another episode of Stay Hot. I'm Blaiden Kirkland, as always, by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, Matthew Sponhour and Theo Ash. We've got a great episode planned for you all today, and it's brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. If you're doing any sort of sports betting, DFS this NFL season, make sure that's where you're getting it done. Or this NBA season, because the NBA is underway. And it's... Matt, has it been a good NBA season so far, would you say?
I think so. I've had a lot of fun watching.
How are the Hornets doing?
They're fine. I mean, they're still injured as always, so
Fair.
I've been happy about Khan being great, though, and Kalkbrenner being good.
I watched the Cavs last night, Blaiden, and
How are the Cavs?
I think they're okay, but their court yesterday was bright orange, and their uniforms were also bright orange, and I just couldn't see the players really on the court, and it all looked like a creamsicle. But Donovan Mitchell was hooping, as he always is.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Today, we're not talking about the NBA, though. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, the season that he's been having. Has it been MVP caliber? We've talked about him in those conversations before. Or is he having a little bit of a down year? We're going to talk about the Cowboys after they just chopped up the Raiders into little bitty pirate pieces and ate them for breakfast. And then we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. It's pretty clear they're not going to make the playoffs at this point, and they feel kind of directionless. What does their future look like? We've got the Stay Hot locks on the docket. We've got another fun little draft that Theo has cooked up for you guys. We'll do that at the very end. But before we get into that, it's a great episode planned. Matt, Theo, how you guys doing on this beautiful Wednesday? It's a Tuesday evening. We're recording a day early.
We are accommodating everybody's schedules. I just burned my knuckle trying to get a pizza out of the oven.
Why'd you do that?
Well, I just didn't want to put on a big old glove. I thought I could just grab it.
I think I have an oven mitt, dude.
You don't have an oven mitt?
I know, man. Come on.
That is the most.
What happens when you bake something on a sheet? Like the pizza's just a pizza.
I don't ever do that.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I can't remember the last time I baked something on a sheet.
That might be the most masculine thing I've ever heard. Is I don't own an oven mitt.
I don't think it's very man to burn your hands on the pan. I think that's honestly kind of baby time stuff, really.
I saw a Twitter exchange earlier today where Kay Adams said, "Why don't boys wear coats? I try to get my nephew to wear a coat and he won't do it." And then
I don't know why that is. And I did the same thing when I was a kid.
Dan Orlovsky replied and basically did the Paulo Banchero time control thing where he's like, "I can't even tell you I don't even know if I want to say it's so bad." What? The real reason, the deep reason. And I was like, what is the reason? I don't know the reason. He said verbatim, like, he said, "I don't know if I want to tell you the reason." Like, what?
Did he ever end up explaining it? Or?
No. He just said like,
and that shit probably got like 50,000 likes.
And then she's like, "But like, why though?" And then he said, again, if you've ever seen the Paulo, you can't. Time control would be a dope superpower, but you can't give me time control. That video from the Magic always kills me. That one's one of my favorites. And Orlovsky hit it about a coat. I don't know why he's.
I cannot imagine what the reason could be.
I don't know either. I wear a coat today. Like
as a kid, it's cold and rainy. Like, why would I not wear a coat?
I wear a coat all the time. Even as a kid, I think I liked being warm. I don't think I was out there in shorts and a hoodie.
Dude, I wear a coat in the office because it's like freezing cold in our office. They just like, for some reason, keep the AC going in the wintertime. So I'm just sitting there bundled up.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. I can't imagine why someone would not be wearing a coat. Can I imagine, though, why the Dallas Cowboys are... Theo, you said they're going to make the playoffs?
What? Did I?
Is that what you said in our group chat? I thought that's what your implication was. Or was that just... Did you want to talk about the possibility of them making the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the possibility. I don't think I said the Cowboys will be making the playoffs, but I do think
that looks better on the thumbnail.
It does look better on the thumbnail. And I'm feeling some hope for that outcome after the Raiders game, at least. I mean, Quinnen Williams is a problem. He is everything that they paid for. He is as advertised. He is an absolute bear. And he is one of those players that can kind of instantly change everything about how the season is going. And I understand, when they made the move, maybe it is too little too late. Maybe the Raiders, they are the Raiders. All right. It's kind of free. But I mean, to see him get the sack on Geno Smith, and then the very next play, he runs around the guard. He chases Geno Smith as he steps up. Geno throws, and then Quinnen leaps off 2 feet, full extension, arms out, grabbing at Geno, like full Superman pose in the air as a 300+ pounder after the play has been going on for 5 seconds, right? After he got a sack on the previous play, right? He's not tired. It's just go, 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 creating havoc. And man, when you get some of the ball hawking players in the secondary back and combine it with that sort of juice, it doesn't feel like the Cowboys defense has to be this total pushover the rest of the way.
Not on the same level, but they're still working from a pretty major deficit, don't you think?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, there's 7 games left in the season. They're going to go Eagles, Philadelphia, Lions for the next 3. It's a pretty tough stretch, even though
Eagles,
I don't
Philadelphia,
think
Lions?
Or Eagles, Chiefs, Lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible they go 2-1 during that stretch. 3-0 is pretty hard to get past, but I don't know. I think the Cowboys now have a lot of talent, and some of those teams are underperforming right now. I think they get dangerous quickly.
Maybe. I mean, this is the first game that they've allowed less than 20 points all season, which just sounds hilarious to me. And they're entering this game ranked 29th in defensive EPA per play. I can see the vision a little bit, and then they end the year Minnesota, the Chargers, Commanders, Giants. If they can go 2-1 in this stretch, I mean, Theo, you've got them right where you want them.
Yeah, you do. I mean, there are 7 whole seeds these days. I mean, the Bengals were 4-8 last year, right after their bye-in week 12. They lost again, 4-8. Still made a pretty good run at it. Got to a winning record. A lot can kind of happen quickly. If you can rattle off 4 or 5 straight wins, I know that's a big ask, but that's a month and a game of time. Maybe that's 1 month of time, depending on how your games are structured. So we haven't even reached Thanksgiving yet, and I do think that Quinnen Williams had just such a big impact on the game last night specifically that it got me thinking about that outcome for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is playing the Raiders. I mean, they have a terrible offense. They're kind of a get-right game. They could go 2-1 in this stretch, but I don't know. They're going to be pretty big dogs, I would guess, 3 weeks in a row. They have a great passing offense. I think they can go toe-to-toe with anybody, but I still don't think they're a particularly well-built team, even with Williams, as much of an impact as he will have.
Yeah, but the Cowboys were a get-right game before. The Broncos offense, not exactly a juggernaut this year. They play the Cowboys, and it's like, holy cow, this is a piece of cake. This is easy. We can't miss. Everything we do is right. It's 13 yards a carry. It's 20 yards of pass play. Life is amazing against the Cowboys. That was their situation not too long ago. And there was a moment where they started to get some completions together, like one to Bowers, I think one to Besh. And you're like, well, Geno, he's had a bad season, but maybe this could be a bounce back game against the Cowboys. Like maybe against this defense, we can start to see the Raiders a little bit better. And Ashton Genty have his first good game. And the Raiders are still terrible, and we can get into that. But then Quinnen Williams just slammed the door shut, really, is what happened, and knocked it back, and they kicked another field goal and then killed another drive, and then they just got too far behind. And it wasn't just him. Like, the left tackle was losing to Houston the whole game, and they had Stone Forsythe out there, so that's not good when they should have Colton Miller. So that, yeah, very bad. But I don't know. I just, you look at Tyler Smith, you look at how George Pickens is playing, Dak, CeeDee, Javonte having another like pretty productive game, Quinnen. It's still a lot of star power for a team that is so far out of it. Like, you can see them making a run.
I could see it being possible. I just think there's like a lot of teams in the NFC right now. I mean, obviously, the division's probably out of reach for Dallas unless the Eagles start losing out and Dallas starts winning out. So then you look at wild card teams. It's the Seahawks, the Packers, and the 49ers right now. All of those teams are good and talented in their own right. And then you've got the Lions who are outside and the Panthers who have a winning record who beat the Cowboys. Not that I guess the tiebreakers are really going to matter for the Cowboys, but
it might matter.
Yeah.
Well, it can't because of the tie.
Oh, yeah, the tie. Unless the Panthers tie a game.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty unlikely.
They almost did it.
It'll end up being a difference maker. But the thing is that then it basically means that it acts like a loss almost, right? Unless the 7th seed is like 500, right? But it's not going to be. So it's more like Dallas is like 4-6 in a way rather than 4-5-1 almost. Maybe that's an oversimplification
They're closer to
of it.
4-6 than 5-5.
Yeah, because like if you're trying to make a playoff spot, the team's going to have a winning record, and if the difference between y'all's two is that you have an extra tie, it's really pushing you down rather than lifting your winning percentage up. I just think there's one too many teams in the NFC right now that are competitive for Dallas to do it unless they get really hot on this stretch, and even 2-1 doesn't sound unreasonable, but it's a higher end outcome. They could easily go 1-2, and then it's like, man, especially if they lose to the Lions.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you can't lose to the Lions.
And then you also need the 49ers to lose a few games because they're probably the team that you're looking at that is the closest to being out. I mean, obviously they're the 7th seed, but also just in terms of caliber of team, you probably feel the least confident in them to hold a playoff spot or win a playoff game. But I mean, dude, their ending of the schedule is so easy. I mean, actually, it's not that easy. They just have the Browns and the Titans, but they've got the Colts, the Bears, the Seahawks, the Panthers.
And well, the Cowboys in the season on Washington Giants, which is pretty favorable, I like to think. But I don't know. And maybe the Packers, maybe they still play the Lions, Bears twice, Ravens, Broncos, and they've looked like mostly shaky. I think it would be nice if they could collapse or something, but it's far from a guarantee.
The Cowboys' current percent chance to make the playoffs is 7%. 7% is not
Sounds
high.
About right to me.
It feels a little low to me. Maybe like maybe I'd put that number in terms of what my heart says at 15%, like double it, 14%. 14.
I guess I'm not going to get in the trenches and start firing at you for saying that the Cowboys, not an 8% chance, but a 14% chance.
Yeah. Who are your dreams
anyway?
Who are your dream wild card teams? Like if you could,
the Panthers will get the Buccaneers. So they won't be wild card.
Assuming the division winners stay the same.
Okay, assuming the division winners stay the same. I kind of like the lineup we have. I would boot the 49ers from the NFC just because they're so injured, and if like that is what gets them, that's kind of a bummer. I guess the Packers are pretty banged up too. And it would be interesting to see what the 49ers do. I definitely want the Seahawks in there. I definitely want the Packers in there. I might go Lions in there. I think if they're 100%, they're still a pretty big threat. That would be a pretty great 1, 2, 3. That might be the best 3-team wild card lineup I can remember in a minute, unless I'm like forgetting something. Usually feels like there's like a total dud.
picking the Lions over the good guys.
Well, if we're talking about like what would be the three most interesting teams, of course I want the Panthers. And then in the AFC, Bills for sure. If they're not going to beat out the Patriots,
sure,
definitely. And then probably just Chiefs Ravens or something like that. Like give me all the other guys in the mix, because I think a lot like the Chargers tackle situation costing them.
Yeah, the Chargers
that's
I
not an
definitely
interesting
look at
storyline to me.
Kicking out.
And like, oh yeah, you'd kick them out because what's going to happen is that Herbert's going to get sacked 8 times in a playoff game, but it's going to add another loss to that resume because they're going to go play like the Colts or some bullshit. Yeah, you can totally see that right now.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Ravens just overtake the Steelers, and then maybe the Chargers get replaced with the Chiefs, maybe, or the Texans. If the Chiefs missed it, it would kind of be funny, and it would kind of feel freeing for the playoffs to just not have the Chiefs in it and just.
I could
watching the AFC, watching the AFC field, knowing that it's not going to be 7 straight Arrowhead AFC championships, or 8 straight. It's already been 7 straight. So maybe I would put the Texans in there over the Chargers, instead of the Chiefs over the Chargers. But at the same time, we'll get into Mahomes. But
defense.
I think Mahomes deserves to be there. He's playing this year. But I have one more question about Raiders versus Cowboys here, and it's about Genty.
Okay.
I feel like they need to get him the ball more. The season's wasted, but they got to run it. I'm sick of seeing the dropbacks. I understand that it feels like, oh, we're going to lose. We're going to get outshot. We're going to, have to throw the ball. So we might as well get to it early instead of doing these inefficient runs. But they're still trying to get the ball to Genty on these like perimeter swings and screens and things like that. And then he just gets tackled in the open field because there's no blockers. Like, for Genty to look any type of way special, I feel like it has to do with the tight creases. It has to do with maneuvering around offensive linemen. It has to do with, like, finding gaps on the backside. Like, I don't think it happens just throwing him the ball and say, like, oh, make the corner miss and then go score. And I don't think it works that way with any running back. Otherwise, they'd be a receiver. Like, you have to utilize him a little bit more between the tackles. As inefficient as it's been, it just, that game against the Cowboys, they just were so unbalanced. And it's so tough because Miller is out and Jackson Powers-Johnson is out. And apparently the guards that they drafted are like literally too raw, too bad to get on the field. It's not fair to the veterans who've been there. So there's really nothing they can do, but
right.
I don't know. I see a lot of downness on Genty, especially after this game, because they throw him swings and he doesn't make everybody miss or he drops it. But I don't think Genty is going to look good until he gets to maneuver around blockers who are actually blocking for him. I think that's what any good running back is. That's the only way a running back can look good is through blockers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I'll be real with you. Like, I kind of don't care what the Raiders do strategically for the rest of the season.
I just want to see cool Genty plays, and I feel like swings are. I want them to.
Should they give Genty the ball? No, dude. It should be Tyler Lockett, man.
Exactly. I feel like they should just be handing Genty the ball until he gets a highlight, and then keep giving him the ball until he gets another highlight. And if you lose 100-0 and Genty has highlights, that's more respectable than how they've been losing here recently.
Sure. They do have one of the highest pass rates in the NFL this year, not this game. So it's like, and part of that is because they've been bad, but I feel like they came out the gate throwing week 1, so
they're really terrible.
They probably should have just, and it's funny, Matt, because all offseason we were like, oh, well, what kind of Raiders team are we going to get? Is this going to be a Pete Carroll ground and pound team? And the answer is no.
The answer is no. Which should work. Which should have worked because, like, Geno with a high pass rate behind bad offensive linemen has been fine before, but then Geno falling off just was a disaster. Like, obviously.
Yep. So, has Mahomes fallen off?
I do not think so. My hot take. Go ahead, Matt.
No, you go ahead.
He is way closer to MVP player than average player the way he's playing right now. Way closer.
I think the deep ball concerns are pretty fair.
I think so too. I mean, he began the game against the Broncos with 3 misses, but I think all the deep shots he took, none of them sailed out of bounds in that game, and a lot of them drew PI. And then one of them to Tyquan Thornton was one of the throws of the year, where there was a stunt around an offensive line slide, and then no one was left to take the looper. So Mahomes had just like free pressure in his face, bombed it to Tyquan Thornton with the unblocked pressure about to nail him. Like crazy dime deep. And all of these throws are like 60 air yards to begin the game. They're all perfect spirals, like no crow hop. He's overshooting them.
It doesn't matter. This is if they're misses, they're misses. It doesn't matter.
If they're misses or misses, but like, okay, the concern about Mahomes is that he's overshooting Xavier Worthy. They're like beautiful spiral, huge deep balls, and a couple of them were caught, a couple of them drew PI. Like the success rate on the deep shots was honestly not even that bad, and that's the big concern.
His deep ball accuracy this year has not been great. It's not elite, and it should be. It's been mid. It's been probably even a little bit less than mid. And the spiral shit, honestly, I was watching. Honestly, you watch DJ Lagway, and it's like, this guy throws the most beautiful ball ever, and then sometimes they actually get to the receiver and I'm like, wow, that throw actually sucked, but it looked amazing. I don't think looking amazing is enough in its own right.
Yeah. I don't know. It just is like, well, what's the big concern? Deep ball throwing, and it's.
I just don't agree.
Beautiful deep ball and hit one. Like, it's not like they were all terrible. Even in the first 3,
his deep ball accuracy has been incredibly mid this year, and like, it's the fact that they look pretty. You can throw a pretty pass, it doesn't look good. That was my point with the DJ Lagway stuff. I wasn't trying to hate on him, because we'll see, development, blah blah blah. But I don't think that you can just completely excuse Mahomes for that and say, well, there's nothing you can do. I think there's some valid points to be made in defense of Mahomes. I do think overall, like, yeah, he's still been great this year, or very good. And I'm not like overly concerned with him. Like, a lot of people make a point about his like throws behind the line of scrimmage, or like his average depth or target, but that's largely affected by how they run the ball and how much they want to try to throw screens and whatnot, as much as anything. And I think it's an indictment on their run game. And I think like the scrambling has been good for him. And obviously he has like still great feel that I don't think any other quarterback can really replicate. But ultimately, even if you see like throwing down the sideline is not like the highest difficulty skill that a quarterback can achieve, because a lot of quarterbacks who like kind of stink can throw those beautiful balls down the sideline or whatever. The issue is that those are unbelievably high leverage plays anyway. And when you miss a handful of them, it completely shifts the game. Specifically, if you miss like an extra one of them, it completely shifts the game. We wouldn't be having this conversation at all right now if he was hitting a handful more of those. It really is a massive difference. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty valid concern to say about Mahomes right now. Now, of course, we've seen him be more consistent with that before, and it was an issue for him last year, but like the receivers complained to a lot of that, and if they don't track the ball, sometimes good passes can look bad. But like, he threw some bad passes last game. They were bad. They weren't accurate. They didn't get their guy, and they would have won the game if they did. On some level, he deserves blame for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think when you're airing it out to that extent, and he took 3 in a row to begin the game, and again, one of them did move them way down the field. Like, one of them did. It wasn't the greatest throw, but maybe it would have been a completion if he wasn't PI. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad shot to take that on Riley Moss. And if they're landing in bounds in a catchable range, that's how you get the PI. If it lands way out of bounds, then you're not going to get the PI. So to me, I just am not concerned. I'm not. If that is the big negative on him, is like a couple of these big deep shots are not completed. Even the best marks in the league when it comes to hitting goes and fades, the best is the Patriots. May is completing 59% of them. The second best is 50%. And then the Chiefs on those balls are at 31. So it's not great. It's not great. But
where does that rank?
It ranks 16th.
You know,
which could be better for Mahomes. You want everything to be number one, every single thing, because that's he is the best. But just on after watching the Broncos game, like I immediately went, and I have not gambled all year. I immediately went and bought his MVP odds after watching that, because I thought he so clearly still has it. Like
I don't think Mahomes doesn't. I don't think Mahomes doesn't have it.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. I just think,
but like,
and what you're saying isn't wrong. I'm just saying like the holes in his game right now are like so minor that I don't even think they're like, yeah, they're there for sure, but they're not like that big of a deal. Even the pick that he threw, horrible pick. Mm-hmm. I don't even care because of the high end throws that he continues to make, and just the fact that he's like Lamar blended with Tom Brady the rest of the game. Like genuinely, so many throws are so good, and then he does that, and it's like, well, he's just going to make another ridiculous throw on the next drive. Like the Chiefs are a top 3 offense this year in EPA, in DVOA, in yards per drive, and in points per drive. They're top 3, and it ain't because of Isaiah Pacheco. It ain't because of Kareem Hunt. It ain't because of Rashee Rice or Travis Kelce this year, or Xavier Worthy, or anybody but Mahomes. Like they're 5-5, they're 0-5 in close games. And it just feels like with this offense and with the way he's playing right now, like we talked in the last episode about how I'm concerned about them. And I am, because the defense has fallen off to a level that maybe he can't overcome if they're allowing some of these game-winning drives at the end. But like he himself specifically is capable of an insane carry job here the rest of the way. Like was my number one takeaway after watching the Chiefs on offense. He made a throw to Rashee Rice like on the sideline that was dropped. That was,
drops are definitely a concern.
Throw of the year, like doubling back around Zach Allen, and Benito closes on him and he gets hit, and he throws it 45 yards while getting hit, keeps it in bounds, keeps it right on Rashee Rice where only he can get it up above the defender. He rises up, it hits him in the hands, and he drops it. Kelce had some drops, like Rice had more drop. Like if just catch the ball. Like there's all this hand wringing about Andy Reid and his play calling, and maybe there's a few things you'd like to take back, a few run designs that might be better under center or whatever. But even that is like, I understand why they're in shotgun all the time. And I understand why they have the highest pass rate in the league by far on neutral downs, because they have Patrick Mahomes. So dropping back in shotgun constantly really is the best offense in the league and the best way to design their offense because of who they have. Like I just came away from the tape less concerned about Reed and less concerned about like Mahomes and the way he's playing, and just more like, well, they got to find a way to win some of these close games, and they got to buck up on defense a little bit, and they got to catch the ball. They got to catch the ball. Rashee Rice is nice when you can wildcat it in the red zone, but he's got to catch the ball between the 20s, and then they'll be fine. Honestly, was my takeaway.
0-5 in one score games, not good. I don't know. I made a video for Bleacher Report going over like contenders and pretenders, and I do still sort of feel like the Chiefs are in that contender range, just because I'm not going to count out Mahomes until he actually misses the playoffs. You know?
Yeah, and I don't think you should. I mean, offenses that are this good are dangerous, and they are good. The Broncos defense is really good as well, and maybe last year's Broncos defense would have allowed 30 and a perfect Mahomes passer rating, I think that might be a better take, that their pass rush has somehow gotten better. Benito has somehow gotten more disruptive from where it was. I mean, they did this without Surtain. And
Right.
I just don't know if they would have had that kind of game last year, considering how they did against the top offenses. To hold them to 19, big deal. But anyway, I think Mahomes is very much in the thick of the MVP race. If he can win out, the offense and his statistics and his narrative are going to look good enough where he's still right in this thing, I think.
That ain't easy though, man.
It ain't.
I'm still pro Mahomes, of course. I still agree. Like, the one score luck has been bad, and that can change at any moment. And like, yeah, I agree. You know, a bad interception isn't the end all be all when you're doing the other stuff that Mahomes does, and like the deep ball accuracy. Like, yes, of course, his spiral is still glorious. But like, you gotta, like, again, this Colts game is now massive, and if they lose it, I will say I think the teams that are holding the bottom spots in the AFC wild card are a lot more susceptible to a potential collapse. Like the Chargers, we saw what they just did. Jacksonville is relatively unreliable. You play the Texans, you play the Chargers as well, and you know the Ravens are also sitting exactly where you are. But if you go out and lose this Colts game, then the Ravens are going to be up on you. Then you're going to have to, like, when you play the Broncos again, you can't have another game like this. There's only so many losses they can afford. I don't know if a 7-loss Chiefs team gets into the playoffs. I think that's not a guarantee. So
I don't think it's a guarantee either. He's just playing at the type of level that, like, you would have to say, like, okay, they can do this. They can do something miraculous. Like Rodgers in 2016. I can't remember what the Packers were. Maybe in 2016. Let me look it up real quick.
They were like 4-6 or something.
And he said, I feel like we can run the table. I feel like we really can. They were 4-6. You're exactly right. And then they did run the table. And then they won 2 playoff games. And it's just the kind of thing that is very believable when you have Aaron Rodgers, right? Like if 9 says it, you don't believe him. If Rodgers says it, you do believe him. If the Burrow needs to win out, okay, they can win out because they have Burrow. Lamar needs to win out. Okay, you feel like they can do it because they have Lamar. Like Mahomes needs to win out, you feel like they can do it because they have.
Okay, well, the Chiefs and the Cowboys play. Someone's losing that game.
Someone's losing. It's game of the year, bro. That game is so fire. That game is so fire.
In order for both of these Theo takes to play out correctly, the Cowboys have to beat the Eagles and the Lions and then lose to the Chiefs.
They tie the Chiefs again, and then neither loses out.
2 ties. I want to see someone break the record for most ties in a season in my lifetime. I want someone to get 3.
3 ties would be electric. We're probably going to see it with the new overtime rules, because now not only does the game not end when someone scores, it doesn't even end when somebody gets a touchdown on the first drive. So there's got to be a 3-tie season is very much more in play now than it was, because that's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big difference.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Before we get to the Cincinnati Bengals, of course, got to talk to you about our good friends over at Square, because your neighborhood spots run on Square. You know, everyone's got that spot back home. Maybe the diner where you watched your team draft your star quarterback. Maybe the bakery that fuels every tailgate. Maybe it's the sports bar where you've cried more than once. Those places, they're the neighborhood. They're where the community rallies after big wins or events, after blown leads. And when we support them, the whole area thrives, because money spent locally stays local. Square powers millions of those neighborhood businesses, the places that feel like family. So go support yours, and then go visit square.com/go/stay hot to learn more. Square. See you in the neighborhood. And we're going to see you in Cincinnati, because they're not going to the playoffs this year. I posted on Twitter about this. Like, what would you do, or like what's the plan if you're the Bengals coming into this offseason? And most people just say nothing, sell the team. Like there's just so little hope for a team that has one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best receiving duos in football. And
you're basically done naming all of their good players after that, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's an incredibly bare roster that's bare because they've drafted terribly for a while now. And the way out of it is to draft better, truly and honestly. The big question for them is, actually, I'll say this. A lot of people are going to point to the fact that they're paying T and they're paying Chase and they're paying Burrow. And it's like, that's too much money in the passing game. And maybe there's some truth to that, but like that is not the root of their issue. The root of their issue is that they've drafted poorly. You're going to have to save money somewhere no matter what, right? Like, okay, let's say we don't sign T. Higgins back. Well, then you still have to find a second receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still going to have to go find that player some way or another. Then maybe you feel like that's easier than trying to find an edge rusher or whatever, or with the money that you're saving, or maybe you feel like cashing in on Higgins when you can get, the savings and, I don't know, a first-round pick for him or something like that is better. That I can understand. But really the core issue is that they've drafted multiple first-round edge rushers, and it's made next to no difference. They still rely on Hendrickson, who, in a perfect world, you would have traded away, and now you wouldn't be in this situation where it's like if he doesn't stick around, we're screwed defensively and we're like completely out of everything, right? So I think that's as big an issue for them as anything. And of course, there's some other dudes, like maybe they just made the wrong decision. Maybe Bates is the guy you look at who walked or whatever. But even Bates, you got a third-round pick for back as a comp pick, which I believe is the only comp pick they've had since Joe Burrow joined the team. I mean, the big thing that people are going to talk about, obviously, is do you potentially trade Burrow or Chase or something like that? T is I think, fine by me if they feel like they need to do that. But the question is, do you trade Burrow or Chase? And my answer right now would still be no. I think if you trade Burrow, you're in complete rebuild mode. It completely and entirely. And the market for quarterbacks is just too difficult. I don't. We've said a lot of stuff on here about how you should move on from first round picks quickly because you can tell that they're not good sooner than people think. And I feel like that's overall still true, although we've seen more and more exceptions recently. Or how maybe you shouldn't pay certain guys if they're not like truly top 5, because it's hard to win when you're giving a dude like, the top money in the NFL and he's like 13th at his position. But all of those decisions, keeping guys too long or paying quarterbacks who aren't top 5, are based around the fact that the quarterback market is not like perfectly fluid. It's almost impossible to go take a serious chance. There's so few guys out there. There's teams almost every year that just walk into the season with just no good option at QB, no interesting young guy or veteran who you think could seriously be a long-term solution. And they're just like, well, that's how it's going to be for us this season, and they just have to punt on the whole thing. I feel like there's not too many of those teams this year, but we see it fairly often. And even a lot of the young guys are like pretty big stretches about how good they are. Even a lot of the like serious candidates are pretty big stretches. I mean, in a world where it was easy to find quarterbacks, like maybe it's easy to find receivers, you feel like at any time if you need a receiver, even though they're a valuable position and you should pay them well, and I think giving up a first-round pick to get one to pay them, it's like we've seen that work. You feel like any given offseason, like there's a receiver to get. If you enter day 2 of the draft, there's probably a receiver who could really help you probably right away. More seasons than not for sure. Or in free agency, there's probably a guy who can make a difference or someone up for trade or whatever. With quarterbacks, it's like, I mean, when you look back in retrospect, I mean, shoot, you make fun of the Jaguars for the Trevor Lawrence stuff. Look back at their draft, and it's like, man, of the top 5 guys, there was like not much that they could have done. They would have had to do something like completely radical to be right that year. Mm-hmm. So
even the Bryce Young draft, like Stroud is so right, clearly even number 1 with a bullet, and it's like right now.
Even Stroud is,
And it's like right now,
right now, Stroud is, right, even Stroud is, 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 even Stroud It's like he's not even perfect.
He's kind of in the same boat as Lawrence, right? Where it's like, well, we saw one good season, and what have we seen kind of since then?
So, it extends to like Jared Goff or whatever, right? And we've, I feel like, never made any two ways about his limitations. I feel like he's rarely sniffed our like top 10 quarterbacks list, even with great statistical seasons or whatnot. But this idea that like the Lions could go and it's like, if you lose your quarterback, you're in no man's land for who knows how long. And I mean, you can be out there for like 15 years. That can happen completely and easily.
You don't want to be the Broncos. You don't want to be the Broncos post Peyton. But I mean, the Lions traded Stafford away and they were in QB hell for not too long because they were able to get Goff back in the package. And maybe in a Burrow trade, you could trade him for a quarterback that isn't, like who knows what who knows what Fernando Mendoza, who knows what Dante Moore are or whoever, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are unknown quantities, but Baker Mayfield is a known quantity. Jared Goff is a known quantity. Like Trevor Lawrence is sort of a known quantity, right, at this point. CJ Stroud, right? They've first round picks that have kind of fallen out of favor. Maybe you want to upgrade from them to pursue a championship, and that's what the opportunity to trade Burrow would provide you. But if you're the Bengals and you've seen some of the success that you've had with Flacco, and maybe your thought is, we have the worst defense ever. All right, they have the worst DVOA defense ever measured through this point in the season. Okay, we have the worst defense ever. And what are we going to do to fix that? Like, this is the year we have Hendrickson. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So if you're Burrow, can you win with that, even with the receivers? Like, is this where you want to spend your time? I've been thinking about it. Adam Schefter said if Burrow wants out, it's over.
Well,
it's
if
over.
Burrow wants out, then that's a different discussion.
Would you want out if you're him with the defense?
If I was Burrow, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would want out. But my issue isn't that like the team has regressed at some point. The issue is that it's the drafting. If the team can't draft, none of it matters. Like, the Goff trade is cool. And first off, I feel like that's just such a rare thing to have happen. I don't know if you can like model it, because frankly, the quarterbacks that I have decent faith, it would have to be like Trevor Lawrence or something. That's probably the right guy. I think Stroud's been better than Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And Lawrence has been doing it a little bit longer. That's also a big difference, where it's like the results are kind of middling.
Right.
I guess like it's conceivable, but then the Lions went and had a great drafting streak. So the Bengals, all of it starts there. I guess that's not interesting. If I was Burrow, I wouldn't mind going to a team that was better if it was the right situation and they were giving up the right package of players. I wouldn't want to completely crush like the rest of the team, because then it's just going to be the same issue over again. And I would have to have some faith, like I'm going to a franchise that knows how to run itself, like the Rams, for instance, right? Where Stafford went or whatnot.
What if it's Burrow for Stafford and their 2 firsts this year and a first next year? Who says no?
Stafford says no, dude.
Yeah,
Stafford does say no for sure. He's pulling a Gronk move right there.
Yeah.
So if Burrow wants out, I mean, you abide by it, and probably what's more realistic is that you say you go up to the team with the first overall pick and you say, we'll give you Burrow. But who knows? Maybe Burrow doesn't want to go to that team. So
I wouldn't want the first overall pick. I'd want the first overall pick, and I'd rather trade Burrow for, like,
it's tough to say we'll give you Burrow, but you have to promise to be really, really, really bad next year. So
I would Nico Harrison the Burrow situation so bad. Like, to me, that's like an ethical Luka trade, where it's like, we went to and we lost a finals, but it was years ago instead of like last year at this point. And there are maybe conceivable questions about longevity with all of Burrow's injuries. I think there's conceivable questions about the window when you have the worst defense ever recorded. And I think there are conceivable questions about whether quarterback is where you need to put the mega deal when you have the receivers that you do. Now, does Chase immediately want out if Burrow's gone? Does Higgins just immediately want out and then you're really starting from the studs?
Well, yes. That's
Yes.
exactly what, if you trade Burrow, and then it's like, then the team is like in contention to be the worst team in the NFL every year, right? I mean,
But if I trade him for Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons and 2 first-round picks,
then Burrow's going to die.
Then Burrow's going to be
Burrow's
in
gonna
Tennessee. It's like,
right, he's not going to Tennessee.
then you can't trade Burrow to a team that will then put Burrow right back in the immediate same situation.
Yeah, it would have to be the Rams. It would have to be the Vikings.
Like the Jaguars or somebody. Like the Jaguars have no quarterback to send back. They have no assets to send back that would make the Bengals feel any better at QB that would stop Chase from wanting to leave. And Chase should want to leave. Chase, if we're playing that game, then Chase would be wrong to not want to leave. And then T would also be like, get me out of here, dude. Although maybe it doesn't work but Chase is such the caliber of receiver where it's like, man, you can't ruin his prime off of.
Yeah, I mean, Chase literally.
Or maybe you just throw a little bit more money his way.
Negotiation to get T. Higgins a contract. Like he's clearly got some power in that building. But yeah, you can't do the whole like, well, we're so like the offense still looks good with Flacco, and then trade Burrow because then both the receivers would just leave anyway.
Or would they? I don't know if that's a guarantee though. Like, oh, they would just leave. Did Myles Garrett leave because the Browns suck? No. Like, they were getting paid. That might be enough for them.
The highest paid non-quarterback contract ever.
And Chase could get that. I mean, he's averaging, since Flacco took over, he's averaging 97.4 yards per game. Like, would his belief be, well, I can't compete anymore. I can't.
Yes, and that would be true. All that happens when Burrow gets hurt is that then they put in a quarterback where it's like, you don't even give a shit if they play like trash, whatever. Okay, you put up 12 points against the Steelers and get blown out. I don't care because you're not like supposed to be a top 5 quarterback, Joe Flacco. It's all good.
But when he puts up 30 points 3 weeks in a row, like, yeah, there's 12 point performances in there, but they put up 17 earlier with Burrow, and they've put up low-scoring games with Burrow before, too.
Sure, but, like, I just don't think... Okay, well, there's a lot of teams out there that are winning with 2 receivers and a terrible quarterback. I mean, I won't deny it's a tried and true. Having a franchise quarterback, you don't see a lot of champions like that, but you do see a lot of champions who have 2 great receivers and a quarterback who is awful.
I get it. Look, keeping Burrow around is the safe thing to do 100%, and he's supposed to have a statue in Cincinnati. It's hard to imagine anything else, but I think it makes a decent amount of sense for both sides to start over. I really do.
Chase wants out for sure, by the way. He would not stick around with bad quarterback play. It doesn't matter if
trade him. Trey Hendrickson wants out. Where's he? Cincinnati.
Yeah, Hendrickson isn't Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I think Trey does always fold, and maybe Chase wouldn't. But
well, not even that. He's just also not as good of an edge rusher as Chase's receiver. Chase is a Triple Crown winner.
Yes, that's true. But that's the reason Chase being so good at receiver is why he should feel like any team that has him could win. That's the alpha mentality.
We talked about on the Patreon.
Not, I need Burrow.
We talked about on the Patreon, and if you're not subscribed to the Stay Hot Patreon, go subscribe to the Stay Hot Patreon, about trade destinations for Kyler Murray.
We didn't talk about the Bengals.
We did not talk about the Bengals as a 1-for-1 not quite a 1-for-1 swap, but like Kyler Murray.
I don't know.
Kyler Murray and Joe Burrow, who wins?
Joe Burrow.
They have a defense. They have Josh Sweat. Would you leave if you're Chase if they did that?
What are we talking about, man?
Hypotheticals.
I think with Chase and T, no matter what, you'll tear up a lot of bad defenses. Probably no matter who is back there.
Yeah.
I think against good defenses, you will probably play very bad, as is what exactly happened to Browning, is that it wasn't enough.
Well, yeah, but Browning, no. And even Flacco, no. But like a middle of the pack player.
Kyler's is ultimately limited and not that much cheaper.
But again, like there's a million different guys they could trade. Like there's a million guys worse than Joe Burrow that you'd want to send over in a Joe Burrow trade. Like you would say like, okay, you can, well, like, cause they become useless once you trade for Burrow. Like they're the backup. Okay. So they're going to come with in the Burrow trade. Like there's a million guys who fit into that caliber who are better than Joe Flacco and worse than Joe Burrow that you could hypothetically float in our little.
All right. Hear me out. Right. We'll do Kyler, Buda Baker, and 2 firsts for Joe Burrow.
Well, the Bengals safeties are so good. I don't know if Buda Baker would even have a place starting. First off,
if I was Burrow, I'd say I'm not going anywhere sending a defensive player to me, because then I'm just making a lateral move. Like to me, this only makes sense if like he's going to a good defense.
You know, I was high on them to start the season. Let's be real though. Who do you guys think the Cardinals are currently? I understand that I think with like a great quarterback, their roster is really not that far away. But like Burrow is going to see 3 and 7 and be like, yeah,
yeah. I don't know if Burrow could carry the Cardinals like crazy far, but because he's not Mahomes. He ain't Mahomes.
It's not going to happen.
I think it could. I really do think it could. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think Burrow could ask out.
And as Adam Schefter said, then it's over if he does that. It's over. Strong words from him.
Yes.
If all that needs to happen is Burrow's unhappy, like, yeah, that's easy to imagine.
If all that needs to... That's how trade requests work.
Yeah.
A guy requests to be traded, and then he is.
If I was them, I'd go to him and request him to request a trade. But they do have the worst defense ever through 11 weeks. And
here's what I think. I think you should tweet out, honestly, the Bengals should trade Joe Burrow for Trevor Lawrence and maybe some picks. And then you should turn your phone off for 5 to 6 hours.
The thing is, I would tweet that I would take, if I could get Trevor Lawrence in return and a bunch of first-round picks, I would seriously think about it.
No, Theo, you need to frame it in a way that makes Trevor Lawrence sound equal to or better than Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence and a second.
I would like to see it with Chase and T. Higgins. I really would. He might go out of bounds when the clock is running and they're trying to milk clock. He might miss a couple throws 10 feet over somebody's head. He might throw an outbreaker meatball, leave it to the inside and get a pick like he did versus the Chargers. But I with him and picks, I don't know. He makes easy things seem hard and the hard things seem easy. Maybe some of that would smooth out if he had that duo. But I don't know. I just think it makes sense. Like more than trading Mahomes, Josh Allen getting traded doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to trade Lamar. It doesn't make sense to trade Herbert in the same way that
Burrow to ask out.
That it makes sense for Burrow and the Bengals. And that's the thing. Like it makes sense for the two of them to kind of part ways because again, yeah, if Burrow is in a special situation because he is with the worst defense ever, and he can win the Super Bowl, and he can carry a team. And he is playing the best football of his life recently in 2024. Like he is in his prime once he comes back, if he can stay healthy, which with a better offensive line, with a better situation, like maybe he would be able to. So he could be feeling like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. That's also why it makes it not just that the Bengals should be dying to dump him, but it does kind of make some sense that we're broke. We can't find defensive talent. We suck. We can't find offensive line talent. Like this build, we're wasting Burrow's years.
They're not broke, they're cheap.
They're cheap.
There's a difference.
We can't tackle because hay bales are our equipment for training camp. Scarecrows. We got scarecrows instead of VR headsets. And so now our linebackers don't know what we're doing because we just got the donuts from the 1980s.
Hey, those donuts are sick.
Above all, it's the drafting poorly. They have like 4 good players on the team, man. And I'm not saying, like, I agree. If you were to trade Burrow for 3 first-round draft picks, you can't just be like, well, we're going to waste all those draft picks. Well, it's like
that's kind of what Jerry Jones did. That's kind of what Jerry Jones did. We trade Micah for picks. Well, we're not going to be hit.
We're not going to get good players with those. So yeah, you have to believe that you can do the thing you have to do to win, right?
Yeah.
But like, dude,
how would trade Joe Burrow for Howie Roseman?
If Trevor Lawrence was on the Bengals this year, like, how do you think the season would be going?
If
Instead of
Trevor
Burrow.
Lawrence was on the Bengals this season, I think, I mean, maybe be better overall because he wouldn't get hurt.
I mean,
I think their offense would be really good. I do think their offense would be good, but I think they'd still be in about the same place because he'd
what do
throw
you think?
interceptions.
Like,
defenses.
Well,
Again,
how do you
the worst
think?
ever.
Look, Jamar Chase is awesome. I like Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase. Great player. T. Higgins, great player. 2 receivers alone is not enough to make it all come together and all work all the time. Their offense has put up humongous numbers against bad defenses, and it's had some very tough moments with quarterback play that doesn't meet the moment against some good defenses. You know, you can get 500 from Flacco, sure, and those spaces, but you also aren't going to get great games against great defenses. And that's the same with Browning. And in my heart of hearts, I kind of believe that if Browning had been just like kept as the starter, he also would have had like a bunch of yards against the Bears or whatever, instead of like the Vikings defense, if I'm being real.
The Bears defense really is horrifically bad, and it makes the J.J. McCarthy performance that much worse. I don't know if you've got a chance to check that out after Sunday, but checking it out on the All-22, the Bears don't cover anybody the entire game. Like, literally everybody is wide open the entire game. Jefferson is never covered. Never. Addison is never covered the whole game. And versus the Giants, no one covered Jackson Dart's receivers against they could not stop T. They are a horrible defense. They cannot cover anybody.
Do you think the Bears' issues on defense are more of a coordination issue or just a talent issue? Because we've seen defenses with a lack of talent and being injured still be able to have success under guys like Flores and whatnot. So I don't know.
I kind of think it's both. Like, guys are so open. Like,
yeah,
you're having Noah Sewell like cover the flat from the other side of the line of scrimmage off a blitz look. Like, it's just not putting him in the best position to win. And it's Justin Jefferson running the out route. And J.J. McCarthy still missed him. The pocket was open. It was so bad, guys. People are like, you just got to fix his mechanics. And it's like, bro, it's like, yes, it's the mechanics, but like, bigger than that, it's just the fact that he sucks. Like, no one's mechanics have ever been.
If I was the Vikings, I would be very ready to give up a king's ransom for Burrow, for sure.
I would be too. Oh yes. I
would say,
take Jonathan Grenard. Take 3 firsts and 2 seconds.
Oof, that'd be a lot. But
that'd be a lot. And JJ.
What do you have to do to also get Chase?
JJ is a 7th round pick value right now, like genuinely. Genuinely, I would not.
I think people would have considered Goff a 7th round pick value towards the end.
Goff had been to the Super Bowl. Goff,
I guess that.
I mean, Goff on a big contract
Goff has played
like not a big
significantly
asset.
better football than this.
I mean, Goff was
like
horrific.
At the end of his time at the Rams, like, it was bad.
I mean, it was bad, but like, it's completely different with a guy who has played good before rather than
2018 Goff was leading one of the best offenses ever. Now, if you want to cope about McCarthy, you can look at 2016 Goff, the year before McVay got there. He was historically bad his first couple starts. Like, he couldn't do anything. And maybe then I would have said he's a 7th round value, and he obviously would have been a steal there. But I'm still putting McCarthy at maybe fifth round value. We'll bump it up. But yeah, it was really bad. But we already talked.
Yeah, really, really bad. Before we get into the Stay Hot locks here, I mentioned that the NBA season is here, and that's why FanDuel is excited to announce that it's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So look, even if you missed the start of the game, or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. However you play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/podcast to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Disclaimer, must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. The Stay Hot locks went some of our ways and some not our ways. And by some not, I mean me. I locked the Patriots, who came through in a big way, and the Chargers, who did the opposite, came not through in a big way. They got slaughtered. So I'm still stuck here with 10 points. Matt, you locked the Ravens and the Steelers, proved to be fruitful. You are now up to 12 points. And Theo, you locked the Packers, the Texans, and the Cowboys. Congratulations. You are tied up with Matthew Spawnhour with 12 points.
Simple rating system came through for me with the Texans. Thank God.
The calculator.
I cannot believe you locked the Chargers over the Jaguars.
I knew the Chargers trench play was bad. I didn't realize it was going to be like the worst in football.
It is that.
It is the worst in football. So I've learned my lesson this week.
Maybe not all the time on defense.
Theo, I will say you have your choice of picks since you two are tied and you had the most points gained.
Yeah.
What pick do you want?
I'll take the first pick just because I'm seeing Ravens and Jets right now.
Locks brought to you by FanDuel, by the way.
Yeah. I'm taking the Ravens. They were in a dogfight last week, and I still don't quite know why. I assume it's just because of, well, I guess I don't know. Garrett had 4 sacks, which is good for the Browns and bad for the Ravens, of course. But Lamar's overall EPA was somewhere between Shador's and Gabriel's. It was like negative 0.37. And as big as sacks can be, I assume that there were some other things going wrong outside of just the Garrett moments, 4 plays. So maybe locking this without having seen all that went wrong there. Maybe the
Garrett
Ravens
had a lot of pressures outside.
Yeah, they just don't have Garrett. I mean, they are just the Jets. So I'm just going to go with the Ravens, despite their kind of ho-hum performance last week.
Fair enough.
I'll take pick 2. And I will go with Seattle over Tennessee. Tennessee is an always lock against team, unless they're playing somebody else who is like, top 10 pick type. So Seattle, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree. I've got the swing here, and I'm going to take the Patriots over the Bengals first. Jamar Chase is suspended in this game, so it's about as easy of a win as it could possibly be. And then I will also take the Lions over the Giants.
Is Dart back?
Does it?
I honestly have no idea.
Let's see. There's not really much information about it. I don't think we know.
I would take the.
He
Lions
remains in concussion protocol, but the Giants are optimistic he'll be able to return this week and play on Sunday in Detroit. I don't know if that changes your mind.
No, it doesn't.
Fair.
Like, not even. He could be perfectly healthy right now. Like, I don't care.
Fair enough. Jahmyr Gibbs probably going for about $1 million.
Yeah. Matt, back to you.
I'll go 49ers over You know what? Give me Packers over Vikings. If the McCarthy stuff is how it's going to be from here on out, I think it's going to be really tough to win games. There's no gimme here anymore. But I mean, JJ's pulled out some magic before, but it's that, or maybe I could go Rams over Tampa. But I could say the same about Tampa.
That's a 7-point spread. That feels.
The Rams are real good right now, man.
They are.
I don't think that's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go Packers over Vikings.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones taken. I think I will take. I don't know. Hope Core Bryce Young did did warm my cold dead heart last week, so I won't bet against him this week. I'm gonna stand on one. I got my 3 last week, and this week I'm gonna go with 1, and then I'll average 2, and maybe that's the play.
Okay, I will go with. I'll go with. I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Panthers.
I was thinking about it.
You're scared to pick against Bryce Young. This is Monday night.
How are you going to challenge?
I need that emotional hedge.
Hell no, I'm not going to challenge. Hell no. It's very likely that the 49 looking at the simple rating system, the 49ers are 5th in the NFC and the Panthers are 2nd from the bottom. So that's 15th. So there is a big gap there.
I haven't picked 3 in a long time, but I know I've been running the numbers. I've been crunching the models. I have people behind the scenes working on this.
And the 49ers are better.
We know that right here, statistically, I should be taking a third team.
Okay.
So. All right. I'm going to be out. I'm not going to take any more. I'm going to stick it with 2. Keep things simple, and hopefully I come out with a W this week. So the Stay Hot locks, Theo only taking 1, has 12 points, is locking the Baltimore Ravens. Matthew Spawnhour also.
You know what?
Points.
I'm not out. I didn't say I was.
Ooh.
Oh, you're gonna take 4?
Yeah, I kind of am thinking about it. Frankly, my model tells me that it is statistically the right thing to do to take a 4th team here. Not by a lot, but it's asking for a lot to go right. I'm just not a big risk taker,
what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about Rams over the Buccaneers. That's what I'm thinking about. I mean, I'm not that low on Tampa, but the implied odds that the Rams have in this game are good enough to where it is beneficial to take. It's beneficial to take a 4th team. I don't want to give away my whole strategy here, but
I'm sure you're just building a parlay and you're just trying to keep it under plus money or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's not exactly.
I assume you didn't build a supercomputer, or maybe you did build a.
You don't know what I have. You just don't know what I have working behind the scenes, and you really shouldn't make comments.
He's got a little troll under his desk, and he's whispering in his ear.
I never do anything fun in the locks. All right, I'll take the Rams over the Bucks. Why not? And then I'll be out because there is not a game. I'm imagining the Moneyball scene where Brad Pitt is telling Jonah Hill, if you believe in this thing, you don't have to explain it to anybody. I don't want to reveal my strategy, which is great podcasting, but I don't have to explain myself to anybody. So yeah, I'm taking 4 teams.
Oh,
wow, and I'm taking 1.
What has happened to the Stay Hot locks? Theo Ash, 12 points, taking 1 team, the Baltimore Ravens. Matthew Spawnhour, also 12 points, taking 4 teams, Seahawks, Packers, 49ers, and Rams. And then myself here with 10 points, just taking a calm little 2. Patriots and Lions, keeping it simple.
I'm glad that the Packers are in Matt's parlay here, because if he gets a huge lead on me, that means the Packers don't lose to JJ McCarthy, which I'll take.
That is true.
After I had said he's unsalvageable, he's unfixable, he will never be good, and then he's gonna beat the Packers.
Yeah. Would it be crazy for me to lock the Browns this week against the Raiders?
It would be crazy because, again, I got this simple rating system pulled up here.
They're not even favored. So I do think that would be crazy.
They're not favored.
But the defense, man.
They're not favored.
Garrett's going to have 19 sacks in this game.
Their SRS is minus 8.8, and the Raiders are minus 8.9. So maybe you want to take the Browns money line.
If you do that, if you do that, then it's like, it's so easy for Theo to challenge. That would be such an easy decision.
I would have to do that, wouldn't I? Yeah.
That'd be a gimme.
It would be.
Yeah, I won't do it. So those are the Stay Hot locks, which are, of course, brought to you by our good friends at FanDuel. Hopefully things will work out in my favor. Theo, you texted in the group chat for us to do another.
Sorry, I'm remembering something. Somebody I was talking to had run like a little, like they'd like gone back and calculated like all of the picks that we'd ever made in the locks. And they put it on a graph, and they were like, part of what they were graphing was like the spread. Okay. And I saw a few dots. I'm like, who has been picking underdogs? And they're like, well, it's entirely Blaiden challenging that the Browns will win. And that's, I believe it's the only time that anyone has ever picked underdogs on here. But it's happened like 4 times.
Is that the guy in the Discord that did that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought that was,
dude, he hit the Spags emotion blitz. Like this emotional spag splits that lost the game versus.
I think maybe there was one other time that like Theo challenged on like a very close one.
I think I won on that. I think I remember a highlight of
can be right to challenge on an underdog, like depending. Also, you've been mostly pretty risky, Theo, but it's worked out for you. So
yeah. But my draft here last week on the Thursday episode, we did a draft of the best people ever, or best people alive today. This, I want to do a draft of the best sports moments ever, or our personal favorite sports moments ever.
I'm doing best. I'm doing like the greatest list. I'm not lifting off like my personal favorites. That's not very interesting as of a draft.
Yeah. I have no Packers things on my list, but I am going to draft by how they make me feel. So
I'm just going greatest. I'll be real with you. Before we get any comments, probably going to be pretty American centered. Probably going to be a lot of American leagues or whatnot. I don't know much about soccer. I don't know much about what else is big cricket.
Neither do most other Americans listening to this podcast.
That's very true. So it's an NFL pod.
When we take NFL and NBA things only, we're going to be okay.
So
yes. Okay. So who gets the first pick here?
I'll give it to you, Blaiden, and then Matt, and then I'll go last.
Easy first overall pick here. Blocked by James. 2016 NBA Finals Game 7. LeBron James.
I was looking at a lot of lists for this, and a lot of them had Jordan's Game 6 shot in the 98 Finals significantly above the 2016 Finals. I cannot express how completely wrong that opinion is. It is not even remotely. I'm not kidding at all.
I know you're not.
Anytime you say this, it's like, well, you're a LeBron fan. It's like it's not even like debatably close that is somehow a better moment than Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. That is complete. And then they try to sneak in all these other things. I looked at like a top 50 list. The flu game. Who gives a damn about the flu game that much at all time? One of the best sports moments ever. The Dream Team. The most recent USA victory was more interesting than the Dream Team. The Dream Team is like a sports like novelty rather than an actual like great inspiring moment or whatever. So that really bothered me. I think the 2016 finals is as good a pick for like one of the greatest sports moments ever. I think it goes toe to toe with literally anything.
Yes. 100% it does. It's a valid 1.1. LeBron specifically having that block and having it be such a heroic effort on his part.
It was game 6 of the 2016.
It's literally Superman like type shit like that.
Game 7 of the 2016 finals, it had multiple great plays to end. It was a fantastic game. It was back and forth. The final 3.5 minutes where no one could score is amazing. The Cavs were like a downtrodden city. They could never win anything. It'd been forever. LeBron had been there. They won to get him. He couldn't get anything right. Everything was like the team they built around was terrible. He leaves. He comes back. Hero's journey shit. They get there the last year. They get injured. They can't win. They go back. They're going up against the greatest regular season team ever. They go down by a lead that no one's ever come down by, and they come back and they win. It's easily the greatest NBA moment. And the NBA is the highest level of one of the most popular sports in the world. I think that the World Cup probably has a little bit of an overall advantage because it only happens once every 4 years. And because it's single elimination, it's just so dang hard to like actually get there. You know what I mean? But like the 2016 finals is a great 101.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blocked by James is fire. Blocked by James is extremely fire. How many finals in a row had he been to at that point, too? Like, the guy is just on a run when he makes that block that is so unprecedented. And then to make that play, like, to have it be him that makes that play, like, oh my God. It was.
Yeah.
Because it would have been for
like
11
for the Cavs, too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And he's from, like, there's just so much there. Yeah, I think it would have been my first pick probably.
Hell yeah.
What is your first pick now that it's out?
That's tough. I'm deciding between two things. I think the answer probably at this point is A Miracle on Ice would be up there for me in terms of just like on a humongous stage, the Olympics at great odds. An amazing moment to go in and beat, like the Russians that they should have had no chance against. Mm-hmm. I would say that would probably be next for me.
That's the second pick. That is crazy. There's a good movie about that. But that's all I've seen of it. I should watch that whole game because I just haven't. The moment would probably mean more to me.
I haven't watched the whole game either, personally, but when I'm looking at like the I understand the impact and the odds that they were, I guess. So I'm going Miracle on Ice.
Okay, I'm gonna go fake woke here. Is gonna be the original thing. Reaction to my pick.
There's a couple of fake woke picks I could understand right here.
Okay, my fake woke pick is Secretariat at the Belmont Stakes in 1973. And you laugh, and he's picking a fucking horse, and it's who cares about the fucking Belmont Stakes. Watch the run and then get back to me. Like, watch the horse do what he does in this moment.
BoJack
it is the craziest thing.
You're cooking right now.
I am cooking because the horse, it's close for a while when they go out, but clearly Secretariat takes the lead, and then you expect him to, fade because he's given his burst early to take the lead. He just keeps getting faster and faster. And the distance just keeps increasing more and more to the point where he's like halfway around the distance is unbelievable. And he just keeps getting faster as the thing goes. And you're like, this defies physics, like every horse is strong. Every horse knows how to fucking run. It's other horses he's up against, and they're all fading and he's getting faster. The announcing is peak. The visual is unbelievable, and the record stands now. We're in 2025. It was 1973 when this is set. No one's come within 2 seconds of it.
The horse game is soft currently. They're not as good as they used to be.
But that's how much of an outlier it was. Like, I just have not seen anything like it. I like Usain Bolt is comparable, and maybe I'll pick him later. Like, there are some Olympic things that are comparable, but it's like, I kind of feel like those records get beat all the time. And this one just has
Bolts.
Bolts, yeah, you're right. And I might take Bolt here at 2 because of that. Like, but I'm actually going to go in a different direction on the swing, and I'm going to take the Odell Beckham catch. I'm going to take the Odell Beckham catch.
I thought
it doesn't
about
mean
the
much.
OBJ catch. It's such a huge catch in the sense of like it inspired a generation.
It's not a game winning. It's not a
kind of get where you're coming from. It really is like it had even for how great of a play it was, it somehow had an outsized impact even from there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, look, I'm biased towards football. I watch a lot of football. As much as the Belmont Stakes in 1973 was cool, like I just haven't seen anything close to the Odell catch since it was made. Like, there's been a lot of great catches. Pickens has made some great catches. Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson made a one-handed at the end zone. They're not even 4 on the Richter scale compared to what Odell did. Like, it's and 1 through contact, touchdown on the sideline. You just don't see catches get made that far behind the eye line. Like, he reached back and grabbed it. Like, you just don't. I haven't seen anything like that since. And prime time versus the Cowboys and you're the Giants matters too. Like that's a big stage. I don't know if they ended up winning that game. I don't even remember. It's not as important from like a historic result perspective, but from an aura perspective, it's literally the number 1 sport. Like it has more aura than Blocked by James. It has more aura than any other more.
Does it have
moment.
more aura than Blocked by James?
It has more aura than anybody else.
I just think there's things that have a bigger cultural impact than a single play. Like full games just can. And for my next pick, I'll go the 2022 World Cup final. I think it is completely ludicrous to say that Secretariat winning is more important than Argentina and Messi winning.
Look, no, it's not. It's not. But we still all know who Secretariat is.
We're always going to know who Messi is.
We're always going to know who Messi is, but it's the same. There's a large.
Hold my nuts. Oh my God. Will Strike. American Pharaoh.
Fair.
Bojack.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But Secretariat had a large cultural impact to the point that like Secretariat is like still like a worldwide.
Rich Strike is a great run. You should go watch that one. Actually, I was looking.
I will. But yeah, Messi winning the World Cup in the fashion that he did.
Well, that was an amazing game. It was up against a great France team. Mbappe had awesome moments down the stretch there.
He did.
Like the save was amazing. And the thing about the World Cup that makes it so good, even as somebody who doesn't really like soccer, is that between it only happening once every 4 years and between it being single elimination again, it's just everything is on the line, and there's no game 2, there's no feeling out, there's no like, well, we'll get him next time. No, you won't get him next time. No, you probably won't be back. This is probably it. Not necessarily, but probably. And Messi, like, I don't know, he probably will play in the 26 World Cup, but like, it was at the time, it's like, man, this might be it. Like, if you're going to win it, this is going to be the time. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, like, you know, one of the greatest, if not the greatest soccer players of all time. And then you sit and you just see how the country reacts. And it's like, how is that not like up there with anything else?
Yeah. So, one thing that lives in my head rent free, Messi almost had like a game winner in regulation in that one. He was so close. He had a wicked, was it a free kick or was it a normal shot in play? Oh, I can't remember, but he had a really good chance to win it at the buzzer in regulation. And if that would have happened, dude, that would have made Blocked by James look like a.
And the Messi thing, it like changes like the GOAT debate of soccer and all of that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that's a valid pick. That's probably more valid than the Odell catch, honestly, but shout out. I just love the Odell catch.
Both your picks, bro.
My next pick is incredibly easy.
Okay.
Jesse Owens, 1936 Olympics, won 4 gold medals in the 100-meter dash, the long jump, the 200-meter dash, and the 4x100-meter relay. And he broke Olympic records in all of those events, and it was in Germany.
Yes, doing it in front of Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't argue. Is there one of those races that stands out to you?
I mean,
I think you can take the whole performance. I think that's completely valid.
All right, fair.
No, I mean, dude.
Or maybe just his moment on the podium when he. Yeah.
I think
to have Adolf Hitler be like on his like Aryan supremacy tour, like reign of terror on the world, and for Jesse Owens to come in, and I'm gonna quote Matthew Spawnhour here and say, "Hold my nuts," like
it's great. It was on my short list. I was really thinking about picking it.
I was worried one of you would beat me too, because I was like, Theo's got the swing here. He really could. But
no, I just love Hitler, and I'm salty about that still.
He's salty. 90 years later, and he's still sick. No, to me that's an easy one. The next one I like
how you had that one on your list and didn't take it first though. You're like, I appreciate that, but James, LeBron is better.
Honestly, like, well, the issue is that once you start factoring in the political weight of these moments, then it becomes impossible to pick anything that doesn't have that political weight. And it's like, it also, I guess I picked the Miracle Ice at 101 because I kind of think of that as like the great sports upset, like the great moment. Was Owens winning like an upset?
See, I don't know.
It wasn't, right?
It wouldn't have been, like, from an analytical
upset
perspective.
For Hitler, who thought...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
horse.
Like, people would have considered it an upset because it's like, I can't believe they even let him out here. Right? Because he's a black man in the 1930s. But like, if we were analyzing this today, we would be like, yeah, Jesse Owens is going to win the...
Than Friedrich Schnauf. He's probably got...
yeah, dude.
He's probably got...
Because he was goated, bro. He was goated.
That's not how they were thinking about it.
With my next pick, I will take... Ooh. See, okay. I will take Sydney McLaughlin in the 2022. She's a 400-meter hurdler. In the 2022 World Championships in the 400-meter hurdles, she broke her own world record, but she's gapping everyone else in this race. Like, it is, to me, it's the race that signified that she is the best. She is probably the best runner on the planet right now. Like, that in 2022, and I think she got hurt the following year. And she currently leads people right now in the open 400. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, she's the best. She's the best runner on the planet. And the announcement of that race is incredible, because she enters the final 200-meter stretch. And the announcer goes, what Sydney McLaughlin just did to the backstretch should be illegal. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, she's goated. No one talks about track like that. Like, if you're getting that kind of a reaction out of someone running, they're just built different.
The Secretariat call that I love so much is, he's like a great machine as he keeps getting faster. That one's fire. Announcing really can make or break these.
It's like, if you can get an announcer to really, because most of the times it's, and they enter the first curve.
Yeah.
And McLaughlin has the lead. But if you can make someone really get out of their seat and get excited, you know they're different. So McLaughlin to me is the best runner.
I make people probably in wheelchairs stand up. Javon Baker. That's
I've got one more.
Is she like the GOAT female sprinter? Do you think? Like, is she?
Probably. I mean, I think she will be the first woman ever to break 50 in the 400-meter hurdles. But she's not. I don't think she hasn't run it in a little while.
Okay.
because I know she's like focusing on a 400, like her open 400 right now, and I think she's trying to gun for that world record.
I'm scared for that world record then.
Yeah, no, I think she's totally freakish, and she's super young too. Like she broke basically every age group record since she was 17 years old. The race in 2022 she was 22. So she's like shattering her own world records at 22, 23, 24 years old. I'm like, she's just built so different. So respect Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Is she only 24?
She would be 25 right now, I think.
She's 26. She's 26.
She's 26? Oh, okay. So okay, I thought she was born in 2000, but she's 99 then.
Shout out.
Yeah, but she's super young, and she's like the best ever at everything she does. It's insane. But Matt, you're sitting here with the Miracle on Ice, the 2022 World Cup final. What have you got at pick number 3?
I think I got to go Tiger winning in 2019.
Ooh, yeah. Good pick.
I mean, because I just feel like, again, I'm not like the biggest golf guy. I like golf pretty decently now, but I mean, like, I felt like the only thing, like if you were a mega casual, the only thing you would do is maybe tune into like some of the majors or the Masters and be like, how is Tiger doing? And for so long, it's like, how's Tiger doing? It's like, he's either hurt, okay, he's not playing, or it's like, okay, he's way out of it, right? He's washed, okay, great, cool. And then eventually one time, it's like, no, this time he actually is at it and he's got a chance. And what was great about it is that it wasn't like he had a great day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and was just always in control and then held on. It's that he didn't lead until the final day. And then he pulls it out by like 1 with 3 people a stroke behind him. The call on his final is great. Return to glory. There's a couple other moments I could pick, but I think, you know, after all of like the medical stuff he was dealing with and him being, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I guess I don't remember like Nicklaus and what he did, but as far in my lifetime being easily the most important golfer, like more important than basically every other golfer combined, as far as I'm concerned. No disrespect.
No, I mean, that's
him coming back and doing that was pretty sick. So I think I'd go Tiger.
I do think it's like seeing these moments also matters too. And that's why I wouldn't have taken Jesse Owens over Blocked by James, because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Although Blocked by James would have been my 1.
Even if you did watch Jesse Owens get 4 gold medals in a single Olympics, you would still pick Blocked by James.
Yeah, no, I meant, I don't.
Even Jesse Owens would pick Blocked by James.
Even Jesse Owens.
I'm going to take the Katie Ledecky 2012 Olympic debut, the 800 meter. I was watching that swim, I think, and she was killing everybody. She was killing the world record mark. Like,
what year are you?
This is 2012 in London. This is her debut Olympics. And here's why it's goated. Okay.
Yes.
She's 15 at the time.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
She was that young?
She was that young and was like just owning all the Olympic swimmers in London. And I just remember that like, oh my God. I wasn't 15 at the time. I was probably 12, maybe even 11. But like she's like my age. She's not that far off from me, and she's the best athlete in the world right now. Like, that one was crazy. That when I think about the craziest shit I've ever seen with my own eyes, I think Katie Ledecky's 800 was very much up there. Like, LeBron, we knew he's capable of that. Messi, we know he's capable of that. There's still great moments cementing great careers, but like for a 15-year-old to burst on the scene and shatter the world record, like that was special. And then I've got one more pick left, which is annoying because there's so much that I'm gonna have to leave on the chopping block.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm gonna take the Jadeveon Clowney hit. Fuck it.
All right.
Another aura-full football moment. If I can get that one in the Odell catch, I feel like I've covered the 2 best plays of the of my lifetime in football. There's the Minneapolis Miracle. There's the helmet catch. Those things are more impactful plays in the playoffs and all that, but like they just didn't go viral, and they shouldn't have gone viral like the Clowney hit. And for the Clowney hit to happen after the penalty, the measurement, immediately after the measurement where they gave him the first down in the short, just and then for him to come and do that, it stirs something within my soul. That is football boiled down to a play. That I'm totally fine with taking the Clowney hit and the Odell catch. Sorry, Usain Bolt. Sorry, Cubs winning the World Series, but that's what I'm going with.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. This is tough too because there's a lot of stuff I wanna put on here, but I think I gotta go Buster Douglas beating Tyson. I mean, 42-1. Tyson was unstoppable at the time. I mean, nobody took him any sort of distance at that point, like even half a fight for a long time, if I remember. And Douglas was like, 42-1 and whatever. And
yeah,
he got knocked down and like 9 counted deep into that fight and still came back and won it. That's probably the greatest combat sports moment that I can think of. So
it must have been so weird to see like Tyson get just like knocked out in his prime like that. I struggle to even fathom that. Blaiden, how are you going to close this out here?
Helmet catch is a good one. Helmet catch is a good one. I could pick that, but I kind of wanna do the Matt thing and go no football here.
Okay.
I think helmet catch is pretty I mean, that's a pretty crazy one. Good. They beat an undefeated dynasty on like a completely bullshit play. That is totally crazy.
That is crazy. But also, have you considered Pete Weber after winning the 2012 US Open? Who do you think you are? I am. That's iconic.
That is iconic. I kind of rock with this bowling pick.
I don't know. That's just something that I was thinking about at work, and I was like, "Oh, Pete Weber, man."
It is the 08. It's the Giants beating the Patriots. It's a team with the first shot to go undefeated in like the expanded regular season, like since the Dolphins losing to like this scrappy like the Giants were literally the 6th seed, right? And they won on like genuinely, I guess, the second craziest catch in NFL history.
And David Tyree was like not a good.
Yeah, and the story is it's just some random dude. Not no disrespect, but yeah, yeah, that's the NFL's like here's our best one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It would be a valid pick.
100%, it's that. It one. Would be a valid. I just pick. Like the Clowney hit more.
It would be a valid pick, but I'm taking Pete Weber.
Shout out! Do you know anything about his like I understand that he
did not want to say that. That's not what he was trying to say. He was trying to say like,
whatever you think you are, I am. I always figured.
Yeah, it was like whatever you. It was like he was trying to say something that made sense, but instead, in the heat of the moment, he said, "Who do you think you are? I am," which somehow just hits harder. I don't know.
I wonder.
Also, I'm pretty sure the guy he beat was like a child.
Yeah, I know nothing about the stakes.
I have no idea. It was the greatest bowling moment ever by far.
I mean, it's the only bowling moment I know, so I think that speaks highly to what it is.
Fair enough. I like the pick. I think the helmet catch going undrafted is probably like Tony Romo going undrafted, but
people are gonna make us hear it in the comments.
That's fine because we talked about it. But that's the list, and that's the podcast.
List. That's the list.
What about Mark Ross 7-10 split conversion in 1980?
Bro, that was crazy. How could we forget?
Yeah, someone's gonna be in the comments like, "How did you forget Blaiden's flag football pick 6 to win the game?"
I'm surprised you didn't pick that.
I had a crazy interception in the championship. Like, what was it, last summer? and we were on a route to being undefeated against the reigning champions. I had been guarding their best receiver all game in press man coverage. Like, I'm following him around press man coverage the whole game. They keep trying to test me deep, keep trying to push me vertical. The last play of the game is the one I ended on. He runs a hitch. And I'm like, I'm right up in his grill. They throw it thinking I'm going to try and run vertical with him. And I jumped it, and that was the game.
Shut out.
And not only did I jump it, because he also was coming back to the ball, I like ripped it from his hand. That was sick. It was sick. And we ended up going undefeated on that play.
My best moment ever was also a flag football pick personally, but
I'm not gonna.
I was really young.
I was gonna pick that as one of the.
It was in the end zone though. It is a great feeling to get a.
It was no.
I still am riding that high of getting my game-winning pick in our child flag football league more than anything else I've accomplished.
It's bigger than the podcast. Some would say.
Oh yeah,
the podcast is massive. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Stay Hot. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the Patreon if you haven't already for some auxiliary NFL content, some NBA content as well. We'll be back to recap Week 12 of the NFL season very soon. But until then, we will catch you on the Flippity Flop.